The EPA outlines 6 major air pollutants that can be dangerous to humans. We are going to tell you what they are and what you can do to protect yourself and others from harm. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that can be fatal if inhaled in large doses, and because of this is often referred to as the silent killer. Carbon monoxide is released from vehicles burning fossil fuels. Indoors, unvented kerosene and gas space heaters, leaking chimneys and furnaces, and gas stoves also release carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is most dangerous to humans when the air is trapped in confined spaces. It is important to have a carbon monoxide detector in your home because of the fact that it is odorless and colorless. Opening windows is always a good idea from time to time, especially if you have a gas stove or heater. Particulate matter is particles of solid or liquid that have diameters smaller than 10 micrometers. Particles of this size can be absorbed through your lungs into the bloodstream, causing a host of health issues. Some particulate matter is naturally occurring. Other causes are construction sites, unpaved roads, fields, smokestacks, or fires. To protect yourself from particulate matter, wear face masks when recommended at construction sites, and double check the air quality in your area at www.airnow.gov.
Nitrogen dioxide is one of a group of highly reactive gases known as nitrogen oxides. Emissions come from burning of fuel primarily from cars, trucks, buses, power plants, and off-road equipment. Breathing air with NO2 can irritate airways in the human respiratory system, and exposure over a short period can aggravate respiratory diseases, particularly asthma, which leads to coughing, wheezing, or much difficulty breathing for the rest of your life. Some longer-term exposure of NO2 may lead to development of asthma and potentially increase susceptibility to respiratory infections. NO2 and other nitric oxides interact with water, oxygen, and chemicals in the atmosphere to form acid rain, which harms sensitive ecosystems such as lakes and forests all over the world. The nitrate particles that result from NO2 make the air hazy and difficult to see through, which affects many national parks that we visit for the view. Nitric oxides in the atmosphere contribute to nutrient pollution in coastal waters. And what's being done to reduce NO2 emissions, that the EPA has implemented both national level and regional level rules to reduce emissions that will help local and state governments meet the national ambient air quality standards.
Ground level ozone is caused by emissions from industrial facilities, motor vehicle exhaust, and gas vapors. We can decrease the amount of ground level ozone by using motor vehicles less and adhering to the National Ambient Air Quality Standards.
Sulfur dioxide is the EPA's component of greatest concern in its fight to protect against exposure to the entire group of sulfur oxides. It is caused by burning of fossil fuels by power plants and other industrial facilities. It can cause harm to the human respiratory system and make breathing very difficult, particularly in children, the elderly, and those who suffer from asthma. They become particularly sensitive to SO2 emissions. High concentration of SO2 can lead to the formation of other sulfur oxides, which can react with other compounds in the air to form particulate matter. These particles contribute to particulate matter buildup, which can penetrate into sensitive parts of the lungs and cause additional health problems. At very high concentrations, gaseous SO2 can harm trees and plants by damaging foliage and decreasing growth. It can also contribute to acid rain, which can harm sensitive ecosystems. The EPA has implemented both national level and regional level rules to reduce emissions that will help state and local governments meet the national ambient air quality standards. And many power plants today have chosen to reduce their sulfur oxide emissions by burning subbituminous coal, which is a coal with much lower sulfur content than the current coal they use.
One of the main air pollutants is lead. So lead is a natural occurring toxic metal found in the Earth's crust. Important sources of environmental contamination include mining, smelting, manufacturing, and recycling activities. At high level of exposure, lead attacks the brain and central nervous system to cause coma, convulsions, and even death. Lead enters the environment through the exhaust of car. The larger particles will drop to the ground immediately and pollute soils or surface waters, and smaller particles will travel long distance through air and remain in the atmosphere. Lead exposure is a time-weighted limit of 50 grams per cubic meter of air over 8 hours. That's like the limit that a human should be exposed to lead. And we can avoid and decrease its emission in everyday life by creating barriers between living play areas and lead sources.